What's going to happen to all the supermarkets? Well, they're going to get cleaned out. The shelves are going to get emptied. Everything that comes down, I mean, I don't think it's going to be as drastic as we probably expect. I'm just saying prepare. Get your storage in order. Get your water, drinking water in order, and get a small generator you can plug a couple of items into. You can pick those little generators up at the hardware stores. Really nice little generators. I bought one like 4 or 5 years ago. It's still running great. And it gives me 2 plugins. That's all I need. And it's there ready to go at any given time. Right? So do that. I mean, these are things about prepping. And, I don't think there's going to be, a lot of baddies on the street. It could be for the people that are not prepared, but that's why the military's there to hand out and make sure people are fed through this lockdown, whatever is coming. And if it doesn't happen, that's great, eh? JS, you can keep, good leader by being a good human. Yes, it's all by example. Okay. Do you think all the big stores will close? Yes, I do. I can't afford anything in the past 6 years. Broke. Yeah, it broke me too. I know. I wish I had $1 million out there and start kicking it out. I wish I had $100 million. I could start kicking it out into humanity right now just to help people. I pray for that so much, right? I don't need. I mean, I've never asked for money on this platform that I've been on, but any money that I had received, I've kicked it out to the community because it's I call it gravy money. Gravy money goes out to somebody else. Yeah, I don't need it. Everybody's doing their part, right? But the big stores will close, yeah, because they're corporations. Anything that's a corporation is going to come down. Their days are numbered, and they will soon be not exist. I've got 365 kVA generators. Yeah, well, there you go. And that's that you keep them, and just make sure they're all tuned up, they're oiled up, fresh oil. Get some gasoline cans, get them all filled up. I got I got a tidy tank on the truck, which is diesel. Then I got, other big cans or whatever for fuel, for a different type of fuel. Like I said, these are very, very simple things and very simple steps to prepare ourselves when the commander and the military decides to shut things down, because it's going to be a switchover. We cannot, you cannot just go, the lights flicker and then we go back onto a new system. It has to shut down. Just like that movie, Elysium. Okay, Elysium, right? Remember the movie Elysium? Where they, at the very, very end of the movie, they had to shut down that whole sphere, okay, in order to reboot for the new, and that was a calm. They were sending you out a message that this has to be done, right? And it could be a day, could be 3 days, it could be 3 weeks. I mean, I don't know. But it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Okay. I knew it was going to be bad. I just didn't think it was going to be this bad. I didn't think it was going to get dragged out this much. I thought we were going to be out of this thing a year ago. And now I'm still here doing, my platform, and nothing is happening except, this evolution of freedom is coming. I see good things happening, but it's just not happening as fast as I want it to. I was hoping more people, would wake up faster than 12,000 people every hour. We have, if you take 30% of the negatives out of the 9 billion people we have on the planet, okay, that's 3 billion people gone. There's still 6 billion people on the planet. 12,000 an hour, you know what I mean? It's just not going as fast as I want it to. So that's my numbers that I'm working with. That's the numbers that keep popping it back in my head, right? So, yes, we might have, 5 to 5.5 billion people that are Just sleepers, good people out there trying to make ends meet, working their 5 days a week, 6 days a week, coming home and totally exhausted. All they want to do is sit down with a beer and watch the ball game, or maybe do a little bit of barbecuing. It's the nuclear family has been broken down. Moms and dads are now moms and dads are having to go out and work. And then, of course, now you have, infidelity in the families because the moms and dads are being, separated, and that home foundation thing is being eroded. So I never saw that to that extent, and I see it everywhere here now. It's just absolutely brutal. And with everything that is going on in the world today, this is not what we want to see, right? Well, like I said, I know it's tough right now. Maybe, what I did. I shut down my business. I think I was 2 years ago. I shut down my side business, and but all I live on is my pension now, and if I got some few things, a little bit of side stuff that I do, not very much, and I'm just kind of living under the radar right now, waiting for waiting for good things to come. Maybe if you got your business, whatever, and it's if it's on its knees, it might be the time to look at liquidation, sell it all off, get as much cash as you got. Don't worry about your credit cards or your loans or anything you got. Maybe they're not going to lend you out any money anyways, so don't pay them back. And because it's all your money that you should have had, was they've taken it from your your birth certificate, okay, and they've lent you money, falsified documents, and used your trust fund that was attached to your birth certificate, and they've used that to trade on the open market and the stock exchange. Okay, and so anything that they have lent you, and then making you sign a contract, is illegal. So why should you pay them back? And people, I've been doing this for 10 years now. I was saying that for 10 years now. Like I knew the game. I knew the game about all the finance and what they were doing, because when you do as many mortgages that I have done as a developer, you finally understand exactly what the bullshit's all about. And quite frankly, I was just absolutely appalled. First, I was shocked. I'd say, well, how is this even working? Then I started digging into it, because for me it was all about money, because money was survival to feed my children, right? And then I realized that, once I started seeing what was going on, I think the auditors came to my door in 2012. And, they forced me into bankruptcy based on having allegations of me owing them a mountain full of money. And I never, right? I always did my taxes. So at that point, I knew the war was on. I knew the battle was on. And I said, this is what the moves that we have to make. And my children were basically born at that, or were turning adults at that time. And we had to, basically, I put the business into hiding, and we put everything else up for sale, right? Because I knew that, once I hit bankruptcy, they'd be coming in and taking everything. So I did all that to get, to raise as much money. So, I mean, let's not sit there and wait for the bullet to hit us, or let's not sit there and wait for the inevitable to happen. If you have to make a move now to sell whatever you have to sell, then sell it. We're almost at the end of this thing. I believe money's coming before the end of this year. I believe it. Otherwise, if this thing takes too long, and gets dragged out too far, then the negatives win. Okay? If it's done too prematurely, the negatives win. This thing has to be done just right. No income tax, And like I said, that's right, Warrior. I mean, no money back, no guarantee. The thing is, we are in they are trying to steal as much money from us as possible. And they're using their old, illegal, made up matrix tricks to try to get the money from it. And it's only going to be the weak ones. And the weak ones will give up their money, because they want to be, they want to submit to this tyranny because they don't understand. And that's what these negatives are working on right now. This is what they live on. They're parasites, absolute parasites. And I said, why are we paying the parasites? Like, why are you paying your taxes? Why are you paying your mortgages? Oh, they'll come and take my house. So what? Sell it all off. Throw yourself into a situation where the government can't get you, or the banks can't get you. If you're in a tough situation now, why are you hanging on there and beating your brains out every night, worrying and stressing yourself out to a heart attack stage, to worry about this shit? And they say, oh, well, he's a failure as business. He's gone bankrupt twice. No, he's a freaking businessman. I've gone bankrupt twice too. I'm a developer. Trump was a developer. That's what happens. Shit happens when you get to a certain stage. They come after you. You're attacked. Right? That's why I assimilate exactly what Trump's doing. And I said, finally, in 2016, finally we got a businessman and a developer in the White House to take care of this. Said he sees it. He sees exactly what I'm seeing right now, if not more, because I'm not seeing the things that he's seeing. But he's a master tactician when it comes down to finance and knowing what these countries are doing, and he's exposing it all. So, like I said, there will be no tax. There will be no income tax. All this stuff is going away. He just shut down the Fed. Okay, he's put Warsh in there, but that's just a placeholder right now till they can move all the assets and finances, and because the Federal Reserve had the printing presses. Did you notice that when Walsh gets in there? As soon as the takeover was done, all of a sudden the printing presses go up and they're running. Okay, well that's a calm. They're telling you, hey, we got control of the printing machines now, and we're printing out gold-backed currency based on the mountains of gold that we have, and it's all going to be coming to the people. And I tell you, it's going to be a wonderful thing when they start. When you go to your bank after it does open, if they do survive this lockdown. And you go back to your bank, to their ATM, and you'll see that these new gold currencies are going to be popping out. And we in Canada might have the same. We might see Trump's face on these bills that come out in Canada and in all the other nations, because I believe there will be a super state, if you want to call it, or I'll call it the Western Kingdom of Greenland. Europe. I believe England and Europe and the Eastern Europe, Poland and Hungary and all that, from the Far East down there, will be all under the auspices of Christian nobility, and with the Russian people, and everybody's going to be in a very, very happy place. Listen, they are cleaning out the NAZIs. There's no doubt about it in my mind. We have NAZIs downtown, sitting in the executive desks at every bank inside of London. Okay? And that's all getting cleaned out. Who is behind all the power broker that goes back to the 10th century, even before even the days of the Vikings? England was flexing its muscles. It's had hundreds of years to spread its power, even to India, controlling the CCP and the communists inside China. They had all control of the proxies, and that's what Trump and the patriots in the world right now are bringing. They're bringing it all down. So once the power goes from these organizations or regimes, which they are now, you're going to see a brand new system come up, but it does have to get burned down. So, I agree with Gene Decode that we're going to be seeing a cleanup, maybe for another 5 or 6 years, but that's not going to change our world. Okay, our world is going to change because as the old is going out, the new's coming in at the same time. So we're basically replacing all the negative bullshit, right? It needs to end before the fourth hour of the fourth will be in chaotic shit show. Well, I get it, but we're doing fine so far. I mean, a lot of this stuff is being exposed right now, and it's not like the planet. We've always lived amongst it. It's just that it looks bad right now because it's all being exposed. But we've always had it live amongst us because their weapon was their invisibility. Right? We have our big brother up there, Galactics, are waiting for the thing to happen, and this is not going to get played out for another 2 or 3 years. It's just not going to happen. We have come down to the finish line. Okay. And I believe lots is going to happen on or before July 4th. I'll be disappointed if it's not. I'll be really disappointed if it's not happening on July